there, guys. I am live, and I thought I would share with you this. I'm going to actually try and see if my microphone will work. So one moment, let me see if this will work today. Okay, so this is a big question. Can you guys hear me? I'm trying to set up a microphone for my Instagram Live. So if you could give me a thumbs up, I would be so appreciative if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, I'll undo it. But hopefully you guys can hear me. So give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up. Great. Thank you, Mafam. That's great. Okay, so the beginning of this live is a little bit jostly. Sorry about that, guys. So I am getting ready to start working on this master copy by, well, it is not a true master copy. This is actually a new composition that has been created as in response to the two previous master copies by Paul Cezanne that my students and I copied in the beginning of this spring term in my master copy class that I'm teaching. So for all of you new guys that are here, when I'm teaching a class, and I am on the 8th week of a 9-week session with my master copy class, I do an Instagram Live. And this Instagram Live is an opportunity for me to do a little bit more painting demonstration, to chatter a little bit more with my students while painting, and like kind of talking about the setup and my painting process. So that way we can spend more time in class actually working one-on-one with the students and the work that they're creating for the class. It's turning out to be a really good, I think, methodology of how I'm organizing this online class, and I'm having so much fun with it. So this is the 8th week of the class, and we're almost through with the term. I can't believe how fast this spring term has gone. And yeah, so okay, I am getting ready to start working. And what I'm doing is this setup, and I'm actually going to work in this area, I think, today in the master copy for my session. So I'm going to work in like building up and like finalizing and like refining the plate a little bit more, and the fruit, because the fruit's a little bit flat right now. My first layer of paint, I kind of painted them a little bit on the flat side, and I didn't give them much dimensionality. So today is my second day in my second layer, so it's a perfect time for me to actually kind of improve that aspect of the painting. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Hi Minnie, hi Beth, hi Maria, Mahin, JP, and Mary Kay. I'm very thankful for you guys being here. I'm thankful for all of you guys being here. So let's get started. I got it also. That loud noise was my soda. Or seltzer water. I don't drink soda, but hi LLS and Gita, glad you're here too. Okay, so let's play with some oil paint. So what I'm noticing is one thing I like to always do when I I've been painting. I painted for this morning in class for a little bit of the demonstration, and then now I'm back at it, and I always like to like regroup and figure things out. And one of the things that I'm noticing that I want to work on is I really want to work there. That's the area that's calling me right now, and so I'm going to do that. And I want to work on the cloth, and I want to come forward into here. But when I'm at a point like this where I'm trying to figure things out, I like taking my time and kind of being intuitive about how I like to paint. There's always, what is it? You can always find ways to make things more expressive, and by slowing down and thinking about things, I will. I really want to just enjoy Okay, so let's see, I need to paint there, I need to lay some paint down. Okay, there's some paint there, no paint there. Okay, so, and I also want to make sure that I get my background colors in too. Okay. Okay, so Cezanne used a lot of Prussian blue, which, like, if you've ever used Prussian blue, you'll know that it's a pretty staining, pretty powerful blue. It is a color that I don't go out of my way typically to use, just because it is such a in a way, like, dominant color. I don't like how dominant it can get. Let's see, I wonder. I actually want the shadow shape of the cloth to be there, so I'm gonna play with that. Okay, so like I put in the blue, but actually the truth is I want that to be cloth, not shadow, now that I'm looking at it. So what's fun about emulating Cezanne is that there's a ton of freedom that you get from paint. Like, Cezanne was constantly like adapting and changing things, and so that freedom is granted to us too, as we too explore and investigate his methodology. And I like it. I like using that. So that, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. So, oops. Okay. Okay. So I'm just, oops. Okay, let's move that. So I've got these wonderful colors of shadows that I want to get in. And like one of the, like I absolutely love colorful paintings. I love being like using color in a way that is expressive and responsive to what I'm seeing. And you know, this is, you know, perfect. This setup and copying Cezanne's methodology totally enables that kind of very reactive responsiveness to painting. That's nice. Okay, so that's going to need, I want that to be darker, but first I'm going to put in that lighter, that more mid-tone value, and then I will make a darker mixture of that and then alter and edit as I go. So let's see. So there's like darker notes right there. Right there, I want that to be a darker. Okay, that's really nice. I like that, I like that, I like that. That's really dark. I want that edge. Okay, so, and then the foreground cloth, or where it's catching curl, it's definitely still in shadow, but it's warmer and it's okay. That's shadow shape. I want to get that shape in. Okay. And then there's more shadow there, so I want to get that shadow in and that shadow in. There we go. And okay, so that blue, I need to gotta wash my brush because I want to go to a different color. I need that to be lighter. Okay. See that? That does have paint. Good. Okay. Okay, so I'm liking how this is turning out. So now I'm gonna I need to, this cloth has actually some stripes in it, so I want to get some of those stripes in. And okay, yeah, there we go. That's pretty fun. Okay, so time to get to this. I'm working on the stripes because I like how. Oh, I also want to reinforce some of the. Dang it. Of the. Sorry, guys. I'm like thinking and not speaking. But what I want to get some of this. There's some striping in that some patterning of striping in that I want to get in. And also Cezanne was tended to also use either ultramarine blue or Prussian blue as a outlining material to outline things. And so because Prussian blue is so staining, I have been using ultramarine blue to outline because that's just a wee bit more forgiving. So I'm going to put some some of those outlines that Cezanne was prone to using to like reinforce that sense of form. And so I'm doing that right now. There's this stripe right here. So I need to do that background color down there. So you don't have to do the stripe everywhere or the outlining everywhere. I'm just doing it where I think it like helps reinforce the form a bit. I'm not, and so yeah. Now let's get, and it's kind of got it's a red, it's got blue and red stripes. So I'm gonna use some red to make the red portion of the stripes and the red portions of the stripes. So, and then okay, gotta clean my brush every time I reload, or else the puddle that I'm mixing on the canvas or on my palette will get really like dirty. And then where the red is in like shadow, I want to use a deeper value red. So I'm going to do that. So as like it turns into shadow, so I've switched to a deeper value red. And it's just Cad Red Deep versus Cad Red Medium. I'm going about this pretty simply today. Oops, I did put that in the wrong spot. Oops, oops, oops. Well, I'll have to paint over that. That's where oil painting is so forgiving. So I can do that. And then okay, I got to go with the lighter red lines where the stripe is not in shadow. Okay, right there, and right here, and then that stripe. I need to put the blue line there. Okay, so one of the things I want to fix, since I accidentally painted the red stripe in the wrong location, is I want to cover that up. So I'm gonna, like, that needs to be covered up with, oops, I probably should have used, there we go. Ah, that actually went a little bit too red. I'm not doing a good job of covering. It's also because my brush is dirty, so I need to wash my brush better. Make sure that my cloth is clean, and my cloth needs to be cleaned, so, or okay. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Okay, it's a little bit, need to add a little bit of variety, tone. But now I need to do the other side of the blue stripe in the foreground, and okay, cool. Okay, so we have clean my brush. There we go. And then, like, I'll need to put the red stripe on that guy. But I also need to get the blue and red stripe on the inside of this. So and then there's let's do that right there. And then there's that blue stripe that I want to, so like this guy right here needs to be reinforced. And it needs to be reinforced between right there, the edge. Okay, now I want to get the red in. Hi guys, I just looked how many of you guys are here. Thank you so much for being here. So Reza, Liz, Aphrodite, Renee, Marajima, Rookly, Katie, Augustia, Ali, Waleed, Linda, Jamie, hi Catherine, and PJ, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm really glad you guys are here. So I am just painting away, trying to develop this painting that is inspired by Cezanne. It's been so fun investigating and studying Cezanne, is all I can say. Okay, so now, like right there, I can't use that stripe. That stripe is too light in value because it's in the shadow space. So I need to make that a darker red. So I've got Cad Red Deep, and that will be my darker red. So like when the shadow starts, I gotta shift. There we go. And then like I see that there's some shadow, there's some stripy shadowy stuff going on here. And like right there. So I need to put that in. And then I gotta find, I've got the dark, the blue that I gotta do. Yeah, there we go. So I want to get, so I need to get some of this going. I want to get into him, into the fruits. So let's get into the fruits. But my tendency before I get into the fruits is before I like to get into something like this, I like to cover all of my adjacent surfaces, because even getting into the fruits, I'm not just going to do the fruits, I got to also do the plate. And so what I want to do is I want to get into that as well. So I need to set that up. And let's see, yeah, no. So I'm gonna get that in. I'm gonna need to squeeze out some more white. I'm running out of white. So when you're painting, the quality of the white that you choose is important, because you use white in so many of your paint and your paint supplies. There, I mean, you know, almost every color, most colors have a mixture of white. You know, you mix a bit of white into them. It's just how it is. So I find it's always very important to think about, like, what is the quality of white that I want in my setup. So this is for you new guys that have just arrived. Iraqi, I guess. Baran, Sarah, Eileen, D. Whites, and Timer. Thank you for being here. I'm doing an Instagram Live, which is a continuation of my weekly painting class that I teach through the Alexandria Art League. This term we've been studying the still lives of Cezanne, and so this is, and then like we've already completed the Cezanne copies, and now we are working on creating paintings that emulate, you know, that are our interpretations of Cezanne's work, where we're creating new work altogether. And just, you know, it's been so fun working on these paintings. Art by, oh, hey, hi, art by, I don't, Deepak Ray. Deepak Ray. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I'm glad to see you. If I remember correct, you said you were from India last time. So, yeah, you know, one of the things that I find fascinating about Cezanne is how very tight his brush, or not tight, how loose his brush strokes are. And I mean, and so it's been fascinating to like exploring how, by actively copying him, this is, we're in week 8 of the term, how it has even affected like my paint handling this recently. It's been so fun seeing how things go. No problem for pronouncing. Okay, well, good. So I'm really loving how things are coming together. With the setup. So what I am doing is I'm trying to get some of the a little bit more green. So there, that's better. So I'm always, when I'm painting, I'm always looking and, you know, asking myself, like, you know, what are the colors I'm seeing? Where do I need to adjust? What, you know, just like what needs to be adapted? And what that does is that gives me, you know, that gives me a ton of leeway, and I'm, you know, I'm constantly adapting, I'm constantly mixing, I'm constantly shifting what I'm seeing. And I think that's some of, you know, that those shifts, those adaptations are what make painting so interesting, is the fact that, you know, it's not mechanical, it's not uniform. You as the artist get to decide how much of something you want to keep or how little. And so I just love it. So I've got this wonderful plate, and it's a blue willow plate. But instead of being like really meticulous about the patterning, I'm abstracting it some to support the composition of the Cezanne. And yeah, and it's giving me an opportunity to investigate. Let's see, then it goes like, okay, so then I need to put that stripe in, and then there's that one right there. So I got, let's see. Okay. outlining with that ultramarine blue, which Cezanne had a tendency to do. Now, but the thing is, like with this plate, I also want to capture some of the white highlights that are part of the perimeter too, but that has to be built up carefully. Even there we go. Let's see, there's the I'll have to reinstate that. Okay, but I want to get that white of the plate. And I need to pull out more white paint. Okay. Okay. Okay, so okay. There we go. The white now. I want to get my white. Now, when I'm painting wet and wet, and I've got a whole bunch of white, and I have all these dark colors like ultramarine blue that I'm painting into, it's very easy to make smeary mistakes. And so I want to try to be as... See, it already starts to smear. As soon as it starts to smear, I have to stop, reload my brush, and start again. In fact, so as soon as it smears again, I gotta wipe it down and reload. So you really only get like one, maybe when you're doing like a line like this, you might only get one brush stroke between each time of like cleaning off your brush. And that's okay. You just don't fight against it, and don't. And if you want clean colors, you got to make sure that you're always being careful. With your with the colors, and like wiping your brush down so you don't. I think one of the biggest problems with keeping clean, pure color is not wiping your brush down enough. There we go. Okay, so it's amazing how that line, I need to refine that line just a little bit, but I'm always surprised by how sometimes a single brush stroke can really make a difference. Okay. Okay, so enough, I think, for now. Okay, so it's time to get working on my fruit. So I'm gonna get oops, well, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just fiddling. I love that. There we go. Okay. And then some of my shadow shapes for this guy. Gotta get him in. Okay, not as okay. I want to get that guy in. So okay, so I've got this yummy may not work. Orange mandarin. This is okay. Yes. And then okay, so I am, I'm now playing with the fruit, and I like controlling my edges when I'm painting. I like thinking about how my edge qualities will work, and so back, that one's furthest back, that one is like the second furthest back, and then this one is behind those two. So that's controlling the order that I'm painting. Thank you. Gotta wash my brush. It's gotten kind of dirty. Time to Okay, so, and then I want to get that, and then there's like a lighter value. Let me get that in. Okay, and then there's this darker shadow shape. And then I need to get a light. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. We've got like a few more minutes and then I'm gonna have to head out. But I always so appreciate it that y'all are joining me for these lives painting demonstrations. They are so fun to do. I really enjoy doing them, so thank you. And I just love painting. So far, that's where I'm at. I need to do a little bit more variation. So okay. Sometimes what I like to do also is that when I've got this this orange, and I realized like I've been trying to build all of my value shapes through variations of the color, the local colors kind of, but what I realize is I'm missing the mark on certain areas, so I'm gonna make a cobalt blue mixture. It's too light actually, so I gotta actually make it darker. I'll do a little bit of ultramarine blue. And what I'm going to do is I want to get some of my shadow shape in. So I'm going to actually, this is like, you can mix paint on your palette. You can mix it on your canvas, and there's 2 ways you can mix it on your canvas, or 3 ways you can mix it on the canvas. You can mix it where you use hard pressure and you like here, and then I'm mixing. That's mixing on the canvas like with hard pressure. I mean, you may as well be mixing on your palette. But then there's another way where like there's 2 methodologies. One is right now, what I'm doing right now is where I'm painting dark over light. I'm using a blue mixture to which is the color complement of orange, and I'm painting dark over light where I'm barely mixing. I'm more like I'm laying that blue on top of to kind of create a color shimmer, a color vibration, and you can really accomplish some really wonderful nuanced effects this way. So that's what I'm doing with this guy. And I think, yep, I'm gonna have to stop like really soon. But I want to see if I can get, so I'm gonna okay. Oops, that's Prussian blue that I just poked my brush into, which is extremely staining. There's a wrinkle in this mandarin orange. I want to capture. And then that's a shadow shape. That is a little bit more red than what so now I'm gonna lay over the transparent red over this area right here. Whoops, that was maybe too much, but we'll see. Nope, that's actually working. I'm liking how that is. So again, I'm painting light over dark, but now I want to make it to shift and go, I want to do a light over dark. So now, instead of dark over light, thank you, Gita. You're so nice, thank you. So now I want to create some form by painting light over dark. Yeah, okay, so nice. Okay, I love that. But it is time for me to go, guys. So I always appreciate you being here. It's so fun having you drop by and drop in, and thank you students for being here too. And now for my students that are in my nighttime class, I'll see you tonight, and for my students that I already saw this morning, I'll see you next week. I hope you guys have a very fun week, and we'll be back for one last class of the term before the term is over. And thank you guys so much for being, I want to get that, for being here. There we go. Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, hi Sanchi. Glad you're here too. My pleasure. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and I really appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.